Hello. Well, it's good to be back. Good to be back on the show that tells it like it is and let the chips fall where they may. And that means that I say that all the time. Tell the truth and let the chips fall where they may. And the other thing I say all the time is that we tell the truth. You know why? Because truth crashed to earth shall rise again. And I came here every day and I say those who are bent on preaching gendarme, whether it's from the opposition or from the government or whatever, anybody bent on pushing gendarme, guess what? We shall suffocate your gendarme with the truth. Where do I come from? And that's why after everything I ask you, what time is it? And you say nation time. Nation time simply means we're going to keep a focus on how we build this nation. And whether you like it or not, I have said it on this show and I'll say it as many times as I can. Once I see that for once in the history of Ghana, I see a certain focus and a certain direction, and for me, it looks like the right focus and the right direction. All I can do, or the least I can do, is to use my platform to encourage all Ghanaians. Actually, we seem to be in the right direction. Let us back the right direction and move on. Maybe some of you know that I'm Achim. Someone is saying you're Chini. Now Achim, for we have some slogan. Be when you say an Achim or an Ochini, we have a slogan. Do you know what we say in Achim? Yeah, say. Which means that we won't sit down aloof and watch our Achim kingdom go to waste. Yes, yeah, say. Now, on behalf, with the special permission from Achim people, I want to extend all the slogan to all Ghanaians. Not only Achimo, Pacho, Ghana, say. We shall make sure that the country is in the right direction and that it goes straight up. Say. Anyway, why am I talking plenty, folks? The other day I was just talking about how, because of politics, the whole nation is divided into who has the power. And if you have the power, how do you maintain the power? That is what MPP meant by let's break the 8. We have the power. We have chopped 8 years already, but we're going to break the 8 and chop another time. How do you maintain or hold on to power? And then the opposition to every attention is on how do we take power. So I explained the other time, power in in Ghana, is either how you hold on to the power or how you take the power. End of discussion. Okay, now let me say something that I've said all the time. That it is not a question of who is holding the power and who's taking the power. That has become what we have been preoccupied with. Politicians, the citizens. So that's what the focus is. Who is winning power and who is holding on to power? No. And I'll explain today from the last show. I said it's not about getting power or holding on to power. The bigger question is, what do you do with the power that you have? That is what has been missing in Ghana politics. So it's all power so I can revenge. It's all power so I can make them pay back. It's all power so that everything about power is about control and how you use that control to abuse whoever is not in power. And I'm saying this, for the first time, I seem to believe that the country is focused, the power in the hands of GM now is focused on what it can do for the people. And that's what power is all about too. It's not how you can hold on to the power, but how do you use the power that you're holding on to? That's the question. You know, and so last week we were talking about the big push and also talking about what we call the big pushback. Now the big push is this thing that they must come up with, and it's about how to make sure that Ghana pays number one attention to road construction.
From the launch of this big push here, the whole of Ghana is going to become a construction site. We've selected 166 constituencies with the worst roads in Ghana, and we're going to give them 10 kilometers of roads and drains and pavements a year for 4 years. So they'll get 40 kilometers of roads in the 106 constituencies that have the worst roads in Ghana. Roads are important to any economy in transformation. If you go into history, America became America because of the road and rail network that they built early across the whole country, connecting the West Coast to the East Coast. That is when America opened up. We need to open up our country with roads, railways, aviation travel, so that we can push our economic transformation forward. And so this is the start of our economic transformation, by opening out our country, building quality roads so that people can move freely and goods and services can leave the farms and get to the market on time without becoming perishable.
The big push is all about rehabilitating and building roads. Folks, roads, that's why I got so upset the other time, because roads means development. Roads means progress. When I was in the US, I was living in Hartford, and there were people within the same Connecticut that lived in New Haven, you know, and from New Haven to New York City, I would say it's about coming from Kibi to Accra. From New York to New Haven, it's about coming from that distance. Okay, I knew people who lived in New Haven who every morning drive to New York to work. Can you imagine living in Chebi and have to come to Accra every morning to work? Or let me say living in Suhum every morning you're at work. It is the roads. That's all I'm saying. So when you have an excellent road work that you can work on travel time and cut it down, you gain. You gain. This expressway that Muhammad talked about, if it does happen, you'll be surprised that you'll get to a point where people will live in Kumasi and can easily jump the expressway every day to go to Accra to work. That is the importance of roads.
This alignment of the road is the road that links Accra to Kumasi. This is the old alignment. And some people have expressed concern that with the announcement of the new Accra Kumasi Expressway, this road is going to be abandoned. This road is not going to be abandoned. Work is still ongoing. Even if you go into the eastern region stretch, towards Apedra, all the way towards Senyinam, there's road work going on there. We're going to add the Ashanti region end of it so that we open up the road. This road will still be a very important road, but it will also exist alongside the Accra Kumasi Expressway, so that for those who want to go very fast, for the trucks, big trucks, you know, that carry heavy cargo, instead of using this stretch, they can use that stretch. Of course, they'll pay a toll to be able to use it. And so, like he said, we've not abandoned this alignment. This alignment will still be available for road users, but we're going to invest in a new expressway that will take people to Kumasi faster than this old one has done.
So this whole thing called the big push is just to concentrate on building the roadways in Ghana. And it's happening. Let me just pause for a quick second to allow people to take a look at the kinds of work that is going into roads, and then I'll come back and continue. Take a look at this.
Music blares from speakers here at the JKT beach along the banks of the Volta Lake.
I start take pictures around to 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock.
Just a few meters away is Martin Kokoti,
I'll get my delivery.
a photographer who earns a living by capturing moments for revelers at the beach. He notes that although the road to the community has long been in poor condition, ongoing construction is already making a difference. He believes visitor numbers will increase significantly once the road is completed.
Oh, because of the roadway, the people know they come. Sometimes when we come, we are go by, if we get accidents because of the road, so if you want to go there, they come. But when they start there, they come.
The road Martin refers to is the 32-kilometer Akosombo Jekiti Kudukope Yeniama Sedom Road, one of the projects under the Big Push initiative. It connects Akosombo to communities such as Akwemu, Ajina, Edumasa, Jekiti, and surrounding areas within the Sujaman district of the Eastern region. The Queen Mother of Jekiti, Nana Yadobia Sekapa, says the completion of the road will unlock tourism potential, boost agriculture, and attract investment to the area.
Good. So people were a bit reluctant to come to Jekiti for most of the land for businesses. But through His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and our MP, Honorable Thomas Ampim Dakon, who also doubles up as the Deputy Finance Minister. The road is under construction, and now you see a lot of business people coming on board for our land, for tourism, for riverfronts, resorts, and for farm as well. So it has given Jekiti so many business opportunities that people are trooping in now.
This is the Amasaman Road at Debia Namibongo de Rono. We around July, this is how our not traffic here massive on Amasaman Road. A boy maybe 6. Now say Onam Kwano Swap, what take mu, Onamu, with the motorbike. There is a huge traffic on that road. So this is around July 2025 on the Amasaman Road. Baby Adebia mi chache mona menina ne namhono monano. Say massive traffic. So now let's look at how the same place in the city here. And they would do on the cars are passing like quite within some few months from July to December. Yeah, which means say you're very close to some 3-5 months to be. And a contractor no a GM money back quite so now if you saw back quite so we can all testify say the traffic are never Amasama kwaso above from first in so ta a yasem a yaba a yasem in footro be raw minimum ufu trotro kwana yewu en so ta te che na kai bi fiase na bi tim na bi ka but ne kwan ye wie de na mum metumi aka show say the kind of comfortability we kwan so no bro too much, and we really appreciate the work of GM. Yes, me, I am telling you, say, JM so far is the best president from my perspective, and I really appreciate this man.
So, folks, this is just an example of what is happening in Ghana right now, called the Big Push, to make sure that the roads are put in good shape. This is not the benefit of any party, just so that you and I as Ghanaians will get tremendous benefit of what the road work can do. It is not something you even think about or debate. So for me, to have the Big Push is phenomenal. That is why the other time when I was doing the program, I was kind of upset that people even suggest that it's not necessary. We are acting as if Ghana cannot survive without roads. But that's another conversation we've had already, and I don't want it back on the show. Everybody knows that it was ridiculous. So let's move on. So folks, once a nation wants to develop and they focus on the development, let us back that development. You know what I'm saying? Let's back that development to make sure, because at the end of the day, it's about you and I and the changes in our country that we need. Having said that, I will in no way say that because we want roads, we should get people who will, under the guise of we want to build roads, get into the fray and loot. No, that is out of the question. No matter what party, no matter what political persuasion, this Big Push is just to make sure the people are getting into fray to build. Not to loot, So don't think that I'm supporting the big push and that here there has been cried, the people saying there's been soul sourcing here, there, you know. I think, honestly, and I could be totally wrong, I think that, yes, this is what we call nitpicking. Maybe there's a suspicion that something is being done wrong, so we want to bring out that suspicion. Fine. That is great. I will support any call to make sure that this big push is done with extreme scrutiny, that no one goes in to abuse the whole agenda just to loot. I will be the first to agree with that, and I'll be the first to speak up against anybody with evidence shown that these people are not in the big push to build the roads. They are not building the roads, they are just looting. If that is happening, let us know and see how we take it up. That's my thing. But I don't also believe in the big push versus the big pushback. The big pushback being the fact that those who do not want the government to succeed in anything find this an opportunity to interrupt and block the passage to the smooth transition from our nasty roads to big roads. No, I don't support that. So, this is free advice I'm giving. If there's anyone out there who really believes that this big push has been transformed into some family and friends agenda, and so the contract has gone to family and friends and they have been inflicted, give us the evidence. Show us. And then see whether KSM and on this platform I won't talk about the evidence and show the evidence. But in the absence of that, if you just feel that this is what is happening, so I'm going to make it an issue to bring this up so that you just want to disturb the flow of progress, that one, I'm sorry. So no, I'm saying that everybody who has anything against the big push, I beg. This is an advice that we used to hear all the time. Any complaint comes, what was the advice? Go to court. There's so many complaints that came when the MPP was in power from the NDC. And what did the MP say? Go to court. Go to court. If what you're saying is true, go to court.
Those NDC people who are, walking all over the place, proclaiming, if they know the law, they should now face us in the law.
Go to court and prove your case. And so that's the same advice I'm giving, Charlie. This big push is coming with vim, and the workers are at work. You've seen them. They are busily constructing roads. So let's allow that freedom to build for once. And I'm saying at the same time, if you think that something fishy has gone on, the best way you can resolve this, please go to court. And let the court come and say, yeah, we have also gone to the court, we have done this and that and that. It is true, people are pilfering money. Then you will see what people like us will do. You know what I'm saying? Go to court. But in the absence of that, a press conference doesn't work. The press conference won't work. Go to court. I see lots of construction happening, and I'm elated because it's just an indication that something has changed. Work is being done. Work is not a slogan. Work is something that we see in progress. And that is what every nation needs, especially those of us in this so-called third world. Folks, there's so much work to do here. You'll be surprised that as much as concentration that we'll put on the roads and as much as energy will be exerted on building the roads, it is still a tip of the iceberg. There's education, there's health, there's agric. There are so many other areas that also need a big push. I kid you not. When it comes to agric, I can say that yes, eventually our whole agricultural system needs a big push. Let's go into education. Go wherever you want. So this, for me, is a start. Let us make sure that this works, because you'll be surprised how an excellent road work, interconnection, everything will be falling into place in terms of commerce and activity and building the nation. There's nothing like a nation with an excellent road work. You'll be surprised. So let us allow progress to happen. Let us not decide for any reason that we are enemies of progress. Sadeno Koso, the thing that's happening is good. Ebebwa Ghana, ama Ghana ye. But because the person does not come from the same tribe as me, and the party does not come from the same whatever as me, then I will oppose it. Please, let's move away from that. And I'm happy to say this, folks, that Ghana is moving away from that, believe it or not. I remember when I think President Kufuor, the first time he went against Rawlings, I think it was 1996, you know. And I say I remember something because then the NPP came up with a fantastic song for the campaign. Maybe some of you will not remember because you don't remember. You've forgotten, or some of you may not have been born. The song goes like this. Pardon my silly voice, let me sing the song for you. Shewa sitinemu, shewa sitinemu, na toa bapa. That was how the song went there. Shewa sitinemu, shewa sitinemu, shewa sitinemu, na toa bapa. Which simply means this: look at the quality of life that you have. Why examine yourself? Look at the quality of life that you have, and based on that, do the right thing at the ballot box. Splendid message. But for whatever reason, Ghanaians have not matured politically to start thinking about that then. We were still very much, this man comes from my town, this party is from this party comes from my tribe, and this is that. So no matter how many times you sing Shewasitremu Natwa Bapa, which means examine yourself, examine the quality of your life, and make a vote based on that, whether you have had change or whether the change has been good or bad. Based on that, then vote. At that time, that message didn't fly. At that time, what was flying was that me, I come from the Volta, me, NDC, end of discussion. Opa Kosoba form, that's it. Me, I come from Kumasi, MPP, the Tremor Fuma, end of discussion. So during that whole era, it was not about Wasitremu. It was not about the quality of your life. It's about which party is your tribal party. Which leader comes from your silly things like that. But folks, I am glad to say that that is changing. Oh, trust me. That is changing because the electorate is becoming very, very, very advanced now. Thanks to social media. Or should I say the new media. Whatever you put out, the new media will counter, whether it's for or against. There are going to be other alternatives in the new media. Or before then, back in the day, when the government was in power, Daily Graphic was for him, Ghanaian Times, all the state-owned media, GTV, whatever, Bandia. So whatever the government wants to champion or put out there for people to understand, that is what they would do. Back in the day, there were times that back in the day, even the ministers for communication had direct access to GTV. They were supplying GTV. They would type news and send it to GTV for GTV to read. A chem. Or that era is gone. The era of the new media means that anybody who has evidence and who has beliefs can just turn on their camera, they turn it on and say what they say and back it with evidence when they have it. And so new media has disrupted the same old way that we're doing things. And I'm saying thanks to new media, even the mentality of the voter has changed. I'm telling you. And I'm just saying quietly, you watch the next election, watch the voter behavior, and see for yourself the differences. People are now focused on what does it benefit me? What does it benefit the community? People are now actually it is now playing, not way back then when that song came out though. It is now playing. So I'm saying that I'm happy to see the people's thinking and the political mentality of the average Ghanaian has totally changed. People are looking for things that benefit society, that will benefit the nation. If not, hey, trust me, you hear from them. With the way Ghanaians are thinking, the party that Ghanaians will vote for is the party that they trust. And that's why I always tell the NDC to wake up. Because the NDC won power and won the trust of Ghanaians with the campaign against fighting corruption. The whole fundamental thing was the loot. And that is why many Ghanaians voted for the NDC. They voted with the trust, my dear Mahama, with the trust, Your Excellency, that if you say you're going to deal with the corruption, you're going to deal with it. So that's the trust. You have built trust. People will say it's called goodwill. Me, the other name of goodwill is trust. So long as the people continue to trust them, you have goodwill. And one thing that has happened that has earned the trust of people in this government, believe it or not, is the fact that prices were high. Inflation was staggering high. Fuel was crazy. Foreign exchange was crazy. Everything was wrong. But when the takeover came, within 3 months, people saw things dropping, to the point where even prices were going down. So trust me, that whole period of where people saw high prices, and we say that in Ghana, say, when the price goes up, it doesn't come down again. Ghana, you be that. So price cost for another form. It doesn't come down again. So when JM and his group started bringing prices down, it increased the trust. So you know something? Yes, fuel prices have gone up again. Sachet water has gone up again. Transport will go up again. But you know something amazing? That will have, I won't say it will not affect, but that will have very little impact on the goodwill that Mahama has. Why? Because under his regime, we saw prices way up there. We saw the currency in confusion, and we saw the prices come down. We saw inflation under control. So Ghanaians know that if this war is happening and prices are going up, blah, 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 all they have to do is to wait, because they have enough trust in the government that if things improve there, it will come back down. And that is goodwill. They have trust. So yeah, I know the GPRTU, they'll start with their increment, then, and those people who are nation workers will be so happy. Oh, take it higher, so that the government will become so unpopular. But I'm saying this, just the little evidence Ghanaians have that once upon a time things were so high. But once upon a time things came down, means that, Charlie, even if it goes high now because of the war, because of this, we trust that when things are normal, they'll come down again. And that is goodwill that very, 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 very little politicians can achieve. Except, of course, knock on wood, things come down and everything looks good, but Muhammad decides, still I'll keep the prices going up. That one, you see how quickly he will lose the trust. So me, I'm saying all of these things to suggest that whether we like it or not, there's semblance of growth, there's semblance that we are following the right trajectory. It is not a perfect system. You know, I promised that today I was going to be talking about the NLA because the CEO there, according to news, has increased his salary and decreased the salary of the workers. I didn't talk about that because I'm still researching it. Honestly, it's hard for me to believe that any one CEO has so much power or say, "Matumi pay mu." Nah, the workers also matiso. I don't get it. And that's what I'm investigating. Trust me, when I find out, you hear from me. So I apologize because I told you that that's what I was going to be talking about today. But I haven't finished the research I'm doing into it. When I do the research and I get the concrete answer and I know exactly what happened, you hear from me. But for now, let's just keep our eyes on the big push for roads. After that, you better call the big push for education or for agriculture, whatever it needs to have a big push. We want to make sure it happens. That's all I'm saying today. Let us keep the focus, folks. Let us push. Let us borrow the Achim Anzium. Yeah, man say yo. Yeah, man say Ghana must succeed, and Ghana will rise again.